back for another video review. I'm sorry it's been a while again, but as some of you know, my granddad died over Christmas and I'm still sorting out the house now. It's taken a very long time for me and my parents to sort it out, but we're getting there, so that's why I've been a bit delayed. Also, I've been going to air shows, so I've been putting some videos up of that. And I was quite impressed to see that YouTube are actually uploading videos a hell of a lot quicker than they have done in the past. It's taken about half an hour to do a video, whereas in the past it's taken like the whole day. So that's good to see, and hopefully I can get more reviews done for that reason as well. So, onto this figure. I'm doing a figure that for me is very significant because I was born in 1984. In fact, it was my birthday on the 27th of this month, so I'm now 1 year off 30, which is a bit worrying because I still feel like I'm 18 or something like that. But being into Transformers, I think you always feel like a kid, and that's a good thing about it, one of the many good things about it. So I was brought up with the '86 movie, and The Headmasters was mainly the episodes and the film that I watched over and over and over again, and particularly that film, like so many, has had a massive impact on my life. And mainly for the music, actually, because I'm a musician, and Vince Takara's music has been a huge inspiration to me. When I was a kid, I'd watch that film over and over and over again, just for the music, as well as loving Transformers, obviously. So, but the thing where Optimus Prime died, I was one of those kids that cried when I was a kid. So, and it's still, I find it upsetting now, actually. It's very, very good, but that's because the music is so good. But I always thought it was kind of also cool the way it turned dark colours like grayscale. So when this figure came out, the sleep mode Optimus Prime, I'm not sure if I introduced it or not. I had to get it. It's just I think it's an amazing piece of art for one thing. Also, it's an amazing figure, and the masterpiece Optimus Prime that come out is what got me back into collecting again. I was on my own, living in London, and I was on eBay, just being curious, looking at old Transformers toys, and this thing popped up, and I was like, oh my god, he actually looks like he did in the cartoon. So I bought the Masterpiece Prime, and that was the Hasbro one with the battle damage, and that got me back into collecting. I bought a Power Master reissue Prime, and then I bought a G1 reissue Prime. Then I bought a Hot Rod reissue, and it started from there, and started collecting again. And then I bought the series and started watching it all. So this figure for me is childhood and the born again Transformers fan, I guess you could say, even though I've never really stopped loving it. And I thought I'd share it with you guys to make up for not doing so many videos. So I'm hoping to get back to it now. Anyway, here's the box. So it's amazing big box here, all done in black and darkened out. So I got this off eBay a couple of years ago, and I think it's just very cool. On the top there, amazing artwork. I don't know if you want to get a look at that there. On the bottom, down. You can pause that if you want. I've also got the MP-04 as well, so I am actually a massive Prime fan. I know that's quite an obvious thing. I love all Transformers, but I do have a particular thing for Optimus Prime, like so many do, but I'm a bit of a Prime collector. So it's hard to show this. I've never done a figure this big before, and it's a bit waffly because I'm tired, but I hope you'll bear with me. This is the trailer, which is huge and gorgeous, but I do worry about it being clear plastic, but I think I read somewhere that the clear plastic they used on this was toughened up somewhat. It does have a feel to it that is quite different to some clear plastics. It's got a kind of pliable texture to it, which makes me think it's hopefully going to last quite a while. And even the wheel centres, I don't know if you can see that, they're clear plastic too. So I do have one fear about this, is that my oldest Masterpiece Prime, the Hasbro one, the Megatron gun that come with it, the other day, I've kept it in, it's been at room temperature since I bought it about 2004 I think it was, and the other day I had a look at the accessories for the first time in ages. I never even used them, and the Megatron gun, the PVC parts just broke to pieces in my hands, so this one being the purple one, I'm really worried about that. Now I will show you it all opened up so that you can see what it does as best I can. So you've got these, it's only been transformed about, this is its 4th time now, so it all opens up. I like this being clear because it's, I always imagined that Prime's trail would teleport when it just disappeared magically in the cartoon, and this is a good idea for what that might be like. It's got this detail on the bottom too. Even that's clear. Absolutely incredible stuff. And with it being so huge, it makes you feel like you're a kid again, I guess. It's very, very cool. So, you've got these doors that open here. Very nice. And then this bit comes out. Very good. So I think you can get like alternators figures in here. And it's kind of cool it's clear because it really shows all that detail in there. You can see where everything goes. It's interesting to look at. But this isn't the reason I bought this, it's just the Prime. And then it's just a nice accessory. Oops, that's the axe for now. So I open this up now. So we've got the Energon axe, which is all in grey and sort of sunburst black at the tips. That's pretty cool. But for me, yeah, I'm really bothered about the axe. It's nice they include these things. It does make up for it. Now this I'm going to be very careful with because I do not want it to shatter like the last one. In fact, oops, it was moving around. So there we go. The former Megatron gun, which is done to be representing the movie where he turns to Galvatron. And that's pretty cool. But it's all PVC by the feel of it. Yeah, it's all PVC. Plastic. And of course, let's put this down a second. You can, I think this will come, gotta risk it, yeah. Do it for you guys. You can take that off and just have them as the pistol. And you can take this piece off too. The scope. And this bit will slide off, but I am not going to take that off because, like I say, the silver and black coloured one that come with the Hasbro Masterpiece Prime, the battle damage one that they did first, it just broke apart in my hands, and that was like the 2nd time I touched it, and it's sat still for years. So please be careful with yours. If you're a collector and you want to keep it mint, just don't touch it. Don't touch it. So I'll put that to one side. And then he comes with a big gun, the Iron Blaster. It's probably the best representation of what it looked like in the cartoon. MP-10s is very, very good and very cool how it folds around stores in its back. But if a third-party company could make a miniaturised version of this to fit an MP-10, I think that would be fantastic because this just looks spot on, absolutely spot on. I love this. I also wish they'd do someone would do one for the G1 Prime. In fact, actually, tell them they've already done that. The was it the iGear Prime that they did, the little shrunken down version of this dude. That come with the gun. It's this with the cylindrical post, and that fits in beautiful. And if you've got the G1 Prime, that really does look nice with it. So that's something to think about. And there's that then. It's in grey. Then onto this trailer now. So that's all there. Now, with this being clear plastic, this will move. The maintenance bit, the claw there, opening up. Now this is all on ratchet joints, but I'm really worried about doing that in case it breaks, which I don't really think it's going to, but you've seen, whoops, knocking the camera over. You've seen that loads of times before on G1 Prime and probably the reviews of this, the normal Masterpiece Prime. It's exactly the same. if I hold this up, hopefully you can see some of that detail there. Nice and shiny. And that's lovely. All that detail in there. So, that's the trailer. Nice rubber tyres. Obviously rolls very well for that reason. So I'll put this to one side. There we go. And now onto the main event. This weighs a ton. Mostly out of metal. And I remember this and this, I just couldn't believe it. My flatmates in London, one guy worked at the bank from America, I think it was, and the guy for a mathematics company. And they love this guy, and all of us were always posing him and trying to make him look as cool as possible. Endless fascination. Not this one, obviously, the Hasbro release, but you definitely can't go wrong with this figure. I love this and MP-10. People are always arguing which one's best. They're both amazing figures. They're both totally different. You know, they both look like G1 Prime. Although I hear that this mould was actually inspired by a comic fiction, I'm not sure which one, based on G1. And it does go a long way to being one of the best G1 Primes ever, obviously. The only really thing I noticed about it that I thought was a bit off was the eye shape, which is what I like about MP-10 being the first Prime to get the eye shape right for the cartoon. That big powerful robot with the gentle eyes behind the mask, that's kind of what Optimus Prime's always been to me. You know, he's a big dude, but he's a nice guy under that mask. So, anyway, onto the transformation. You've seen this loads of times before, so split the legs, squeeze in the fuel tanks, pull down that. And again this side. Open up the feet. I'll do this quite quickly because I know you've seen this loads of times before, we all have. Twist that around, pull down this bit, line that up, and fits into a slot. That's the, sorry I don't have the camera, but that's the legs done. Then the arms, pull them back, rotate them out, level them a bit and get them out of the way. And the same here. I love this. And that's that done. Then fold these little floppy bits up here and there on the other side. And now you want to pull this bit down. Try and do this on camera the best I can. And then, let's see what you do. Open up. It's difficult to do a figure this big, let me know. Certainly different to doing deluxes and voyages. So open those. Then you want to pull this off the clips there. Lift it up, and you can twist it round if you want to, you don't have to. That's how it comes supplied. And then, I'm getting ahead of myself here I think. Open this up, then, sorry, tiny roll. Make a right mess of this now, aren't I? Oh god. There's a little seat in it, can't really show you, but there you go. Push that down. The heads have got stuck now. Alright, and the head's popped off. Brilliant. This is like probably the third or fourth time this has been transformed. There we go. What is it? Gerard said the other day on his video, unmitigated disaster. I think that's right. So, there we go. That's the head. Now, just got to turn away from the camera to do this bit, just getting the matrix up. It's a bit tricky. Helps if you move these out of the way first. Then that should come free, yeah. So, and this bit is to sort of twist it around and concertina it in, like that. If you can see that. Oh shit. Just gonna look at this a second, don't want to damage anything. There we go. So that shuts up like that. And the head's in place. Lovely jubbly. Shut up this back hatch here. Now, got to rotate these around and then move them up. And they actually clip in like that. The same here, rotate that around, move them to the side, and then clip in, and snap in nice and tight then. Now, move the whole section up, twist around at the hips, and then these bits fold over on the back together, and they clip in hopefully, just sort of hold in like that. And then you can shut these up, put the chest piece up, and yes, the hands. These bits worry me a bit because it sounds bad, but the eye gear one, mine, rubbish, felt absolutely rubbish, plastic, and damaged from the word go. Those bits fell to pieces, so did the legs. I'll have to do a review on that. Stick to the original one. Tiny. Looks good, but not a patch on these. So, these are quite stiff. So this guy is pretty much, doesn't get transformed. This is just for you guys. No, I just want to go in now. Bear with me a second. Fair enough. I bet it doesn't want to clip in for some reason. Never done that before. Would do it on camera, wouldn't it? That's the way it goes. Right then. And there, after much fumbling around, we have this gorgeous representation of a dead or sleep mode Optimus Prime. And even though he looks dead, he still kind of looks alive. It's kind of freaky. Now my girlfriend really loves this figure, and she sometimes could swear blind that he's alive and looking at her. Maybe moves his head on his own. But as the faceplate works still. If we open this chest piece up here, it's like in the stiff as helmets in the film. Got a beautiful light up matrix. And the matrix is a bit of a darker colour to represent it being aged, or maybe just the lifelessness. And you've got some weather on here. There isn't much battle damage. But I suppose you could argue if you wanted a Prime that's a masterpiece to play with and you weren't bothered about the paint chipping, this would be the one to do it with, because he looked pretty beat up in that movie. So, for some reason the head on mine doesn't want to go quite smooth on the ball joint. It's really to say that snaps in. So, I don't know if there's mould degradation or whatnot, but this was supposed to be the last of the original Masterpiece Prime, and I think they did one last reissue of the Takara version in a slightly lighter red apparently. So I would recommend picking this guy up if you can. He is just in hand, it's just amazing. The look of this guy is it's just something unique and special. I mean, how often do you get a toy of a dead character? It's just bloody awesome. And yeah, you just can't stop looking at it. So this symbolises my childhood and my introduction to Transformers. And I could never understood why everyone hates Hot Rod, because I always loved him as a kid, and even though I loved Optimus, I never seen him as helping and aiding Prime dying. I always seen it as showing the good in Hot Rod trying to help, and that Prime was going to get killed anyway. So, and then obviously the film, I think if Prime hadn't have died, the film would not have been anything of what it is. And neither would Transformers, and neither would Prime be the character that we know and love so much, because that film and him dying was just so I think significant and impacting on people's emotions, with the music as well. It's just an incredible marriage of music and artistry, that film. I can't believe how the music fits every single scene so well, and really brings out the emotion and tension in that film. It's just fantastic, and this is a fantastic piece of artwork from that. It's really cool how they say he's all in blacks and greys, but he's actually not. This is I suppose it is, but it's the you can still interpret this as being red, and you can still interpret this as being blue, and the yellow is like still very yellowy. The eyes are quite yellowy, but it's like just desaturated colour. Even this grey looks desaturated. In fact, actually, this grey is probably more bang on the colour for what the Prime toy should be, because they always seem to do silver or dark grey, whereas actually the cartoon it's sort of like a very dirty white sort of a colour. Same with the face here. I reckon if they did another one of these and they incorporated this grey colour with the normal red and the darker blue, it looks really, really cool, and I'd probably buy that as well. So, in fact, yeah, I must be one of Hasbro's biggest victims for the Prime thing. So, I just love him. He looks so cool. Just the design of him, the whole chest thing, just amazing design. One of the most successful Transformers, I think, because the alt mode carries over into the physical shape of the humanoid so well. Yeah, the front of the cab really does look like a chest and so forth. So it's cool. And this thing, I noticed you can have it in like this, and on the other one you can have it also like that. On this one it sort of sticks out a bit, but in the cartoon quite often really you noticed he had more of a slant to his chest like that, so I kind of display it like that most of the time rather than like that. But that's it, it's options, isn't it? So I hope this review hasn't been too slapdash. It's I might redo it yet, but I'll be doing some more reviews, so if you like what I'm doing, please hit subscribe. And oh, I forgot to show you this as well. Here comes this little instruction booklet and card, which I'm not going to open, and the number is C11548. So I take it that that's the it's not the Japanese release, it's the one for the other country they released it in as an exclusive. And I think they did 2010 of them in each run. So there's quite a few of them out there, but probably by standards of how many Transformers they make per run, I don't know what it's like these days, but you never know, it could be something rare for the future. But whatever it is, I absolutely love this guy, and I just think it's bloody awesome. Of all the Masterpiece Primes they've done, this one is significant. And to be honest, I really hope that the new MP-10 mould, that they do this, the Dead Prime, for that. Because with the eyes being right and everything else, and just the general look of that being so too inaccurate, which this one is, yeah, I think it's too inaccurate as well, pretty much so. But it'd be nice to have a smaller version as well to go with this. So they just look good together, don't they? And that's what we do, collecting. The more the merrier, as they say. So thanks for watching, and please hit subscribe, and if you've got any requests, make them. I might have the figure, I don't know. If not, just any feedback is good, any suggestions I might be able to improve or whatever, just say hello if you fancy a chat. So next up I think I might do either Star Convoy or Galvatron General, perhaps, something like that, so we'll see. I've also ordered a few new figures recently, like Masterpiece Thundercracker, so I'll do a review on that when I get it. And I've ordered the new Generations Metroplex, so I'm hoping to review that too. But it's been difficult enough doing this thing, which is pretty big. As soon as that thing's getting on for 2.5 foot or something like that, is it? It's over 2 foot. That'll be a challenge. I might need to get someone to help me do that. So there you go. I did forget to mention all the special features of this too. If you press his feet in, they do that. These little vents. And of course the fingers move and he's got general good articulation. You can lift these things up to make his legs go so far. He bends there and it's all covered in the lovely little pistons and things, all the little details. So yeah, I'm sure you've seen that before, but these early masterpieces were definitely unique, and I think they'll be the dire clone of the future, if you know what I mean, because the die cast on them and the size difference, and there's something of their own. I like where the masterpiece line's going now, because I hope they continue it, and as long as they keep doing good figures that are good quality, I'll keep on buying them. But space is always a consideration, and to be much as I like having these guys big as well, I think I prefer the new size, if I'm honest, because they're going to take up quite as much space. So, yeah, definitely go and pick this up if you appreciate good art and something a little bit different. And if you were one of those kids that was fascinated like me by the Return of Optimus Prime and is it Dark Awakening, where he beats a pot rod and stuff, that was just awesome. This guy really symbolises all that, and I'm so glad that they've done this. It's just, I can't get over it. It's brilliant. So, I'll leave it at that. Take care, guys.